I should do a small preface on how I try to deal with gossip whenever I do reporting gossip on the channel. I usually have a strong rule that unless it's relevant to the topic, I try not to get into anything personal or private. But again, you have to make exceptions for celebrities with Scientology because many celebrities do put their private life in Scientology. So you can't avoid speaking on a little bit about Will Smith and his family or Tom Cruise and his family because, good or bad, they have exposed themselves to a lot of Scientology propaganda, whether voluntarily or not. So, exceptions to the rule. And I want to be careful. I don't classify Jenna as bad as Tom Cruise or Will Smith. Obviously, she's very different, but there's no getting out of it. She is a celebrity, right? Maybe not big celebrity, minor celebrity, but she is a celebrity. So, why am I giving this big preface? Well, DOA, in his very long response to Streets, was offended at how Streets was trying to, reach out to Lara and say, Laura, come home. We're here to save you. And he was very offended because he is Laura's boyfriend and thought that was very much out of line. Okay, I've dealt with that in the other video, but in the course of this, he kept going on about how he really cares about the children, yada, yada, yada. Believe him or not. But something you touched upon is worth going into because we don't really know for sure. So Jenna has always maintained she had a pretty bad and awful upbringing in Scientology. Now, for a while, when the ex-Scientologists were united, not too many questions about her story that she puts in her book. Again, it's not technically her book. She was helped a lot, but she likes to say it's my book. And there we go. So her book relating her experiences does paint a pretty ugly, awful picture. But some people do look good in that book, including, ironically, Mike Rinder. Yeah, at least the passages I read, it doesn't come off too badly. But when Aaron polarized people after being forced out of the Aftermath Foundation, which Rinder and him helped create, to put it mildly, the community started to fragment, and that's where we are today. But Jenna has always maintained a lot of popularity, and DOA is questioning that narrative. Okay, so what is he talking about? Well, he's saying, again, these are allegations. As far as I know, Laura has not yet confirmed them. I will double check. And it's really 3 accusations, so I want to be clear about what is DOA saying, what is he not saying, because I'm not sure he was, frankly, clarifying that much, but we should talk about it. So, one, that Jenna was not as much of a victim as you think. Apparently, she was barking orders around, and given her title, because she is a Miscavige, she did get special treatment. So we can still believe that she had many bad times in Scientology, but she may have exaggerated her account and also skipped over her own abuses towards other children and Scientology. Again, it is hard to believe, given her name of Miscavige, she didn't get some special treatment. I mean, that's just obvious, but again, we don't know for sure because no one has directly challenged her. I mean, the church has, they've denied any of this, but, that's not a very credible source. DOA also says there are tons of text messages where apparently Jenna, or her dark side, comes out. She's being very manipulative and being very abusive, presumably towards Lara. Now, Lara, to put it mildly, is known in public to curse a lot, be very confrontational, so I'm not so sure this is just abuse on one side. However, this could explain why she's the way she is, that she's forced to take a lot of punishment and can't strike back because, again, Jenna's, quote, bigger and more popular. Like Lara, even after years and years of activism, has about 10,000 subscribers. Jenna just recently gained, 20 to 30,000 subscribers just through 2 videos alone. So yeah, this is apples and oranges in terms of public perception of who Jenna is. And again, these are perceptions. I don't know Jenna personally. I don't know Lara personally. I can't reach out and, call him on the phone and say, well, was this true or not? And he's saying text, so presumably this is not from the time when Jenna was very young in Scientology. So is he saying that Jenna was abusive in Scientology, and when she got out, she tried to maintain this leadership role with the ex-Scientologists and sort of presume to order people around and tell them what to do? I mean, again, that doesn't fit what I know when she did activism with Anonymous, so that I'm a little skeptical about. Or is DOA saying, accusation number 3, that she did some bad things in Scientology, but it got progressively worse? Now, this narrative, I do think people will believe because, again, Jenna became closer and closer to Aaron Smith Levin. And to put it mildly, Aaron's scandals are all over the place. You can just Google it. He has criminal scandals, financial scandals, sex scandals. The guy just has a lot of baggage. But let's be clear, both sides do have an agenda. So over last year, right? I don't want to be precise with the dates because things keep shifting. But anyway, Jenna and Aaron put out some attack videos, and one of them explicitly is about DOA. It's very clearly aimed at DOA, and they're saying that he is no longer welcome. Jenna doesn't like him. Jenna agrees with Aaron and thinks that DOA is being a monster and horrible. Okay, and DOA is responding that he feels that this was like a dead agent attempt. He did not like that, and he feels that Jenna was out of line. And he's hoping, again, he's hoping that Lara will eventually release the text messages. So apparently he's seen these text messages for himself. So he can say with a lot of confidence, yes, he has seen Jenna verbally, and I guess in writing, not being who she portrays herself out as this very nice, kind-hearted, I'm just a victim, I'm very flawed, but I'm just trying to survive and recover from Scientology. That is how Jenna is portraying herself as. She's mainly the victim. She has done some bad things, but that's due to Aaron, and she does admit that she also screamed at Aaron and that she's not been perfect. However, with her time in Scientology and with other ex-Scientologists, she does portray herself out as trying to be a peacemaker, and she doesn't like the way Nora is polarizing people and trying to use her name and her videos to make money. So, what to make of all this? Well, with Nora, I've already dealt with this, but let's be very brief and brutal. I think it's fairly obvious Nora doesn't even like Jenna. Probably never liked Jenna, but Jenna was very big and popular. So, when Jenna was in trouble, Nora would come running. Again, this is when Aaron and Jenna were together as a couple, and didn't even question any of these stories of abuse or accusations. She just didn't care. But when Nora broke off from Aaron, to be fair, she didn't go after Jenna, but support for Jenna just went away. And this was a big controversy. I don't think I solved it entirely, but we did go back to the record. She did curse out Jenna. Now, Jenna got it wrong in terms of the precise words, but again, Nora does curse a lot at people, especially when she's angry. And she also said something very similar to DOA, that Jenna is not exactly this nice, gentle little lamb that she portrays when she's online, at least with her YouTube channel. Well, I think it's stating the obvious. Jenna has a dark side. No doubt about that, right? I mean, this is a cult. It will do a lot of things to your brain and to your psychology and to your spirit. No doubt about that. However, how bad is it? Well, Nora doesn't have a lot of credibility in my eyes. I mean, again, at least her criticisms of Aaron are solid. But when it comes to her speculations about Jenna or other people, she's on very weak grounds because, to put it mildly, Nora has been caught numerous times being very toxic. I would include myself among her victims. So, yeah, she doesn't have a lot of credibility judging whether Jenna's toxic or not. And obviously, DOA has his own problems. However, he does have a little bit more credibility because, good or bad, he has been around Lara a lot, and Lara is around a lot of these other ex-Scientologists. So he would know things, he would hear things, and he would have access to documents or to texts or messages or emails we don't know about. And again, DOA has released a few things, but not too much. So presumably he does have more information and more evidence. And the video wasn't focused on Jenna, I want to be clear. It was just one tangent he hooked on. But it was part of the reason that he's become, quote, disillusioned with Aaron and Jenna, that they're not really who they say they are. Now with Aaron, I think that's clear cut now. Again, if you want more evidence or whatever, I'll slowly try to make a playlist because it's a lot. It's a lot with Aaron, but he has definitely been caught over and over and over again lying and lying and lying. So he will sometimes tell the truth, but it's mainly in his self-interest, and that's just how Aaron goes. But Jenna does still have this strong image that she is a truth teller, a peacemaker, and she's just trying to get on, find a new relationship, speak out about her experiences, and you can, quote, criticize her, but it's within a limit. Well, again, I'm not going to go entirely into her fourth video. I'm somewhat troubled where she's going, but that will be for another video. But yeah, I don't know. Eventually this will have to happen, whether a lot of what she was saying about what happened in Scientology and her experience is true. I mean, we're just presupposing it's true because we want to believe she's a victim, but we really don't know. And there's definitely this mythology that she's popular with all the ex-Scientology people. Apparently not. Apparently some people don't like her, and with good reason, that she was very abusive and manipulative years ago when she had, what, higher rank, or was considered a leader in Scientology. A lot of people are giving me flack for saying I'm calling her a leader in ex-Scientology. Listen, she's still, as far as we know, on the board of SPT Foundation, so she clearly wants a leadership position. Now, maybe not the Aaron Smith Levin kind of leadership, but she does want a leadership role and wants to be respected as, quote, an activist and leader in her own right. Now, does she deserve that respect? Well, DOA is putting that into question. Obviously, DOA has damaged credibility at this point, but it is a legit question, and eventually we're going to be asking some questions. Whether Jenna's going to answer them, don't know, but the time will come to ask questions eventually. I know Jenna doesn't want to be asked any critical questions, but eventually they will come, as they have to.